And welcome back. This is Baller Scuba with more Radical Dreamers. When we last left off, we finished scenario number 6, the enigmatic Giga Weapon Paradise X. Let's head into scenario number 7 today. No promises on whether or not we are going to encounter mechs in this scenario like we did in the last one, but really in this game, who knows what you're going to be encountering. They have been pretty original in each of the scenarios. It always has been something kind of distinct from the others, but you never know. Maybe number 7 is when they start running out of ideas. So we start this one just like we start every other one. I'm going to skip all of the dialogue pretty much until we get to some place new, because we have encountered these many times. So you can stare at Kid's braid all you want, because we're gonna go to sleep here. Which I would say means that anything could happen, but I think in this game, even when we didn't fall asleep, some crazy things happen. So really, at any point in Radical Dreamers bonus scenarios, anything could happen. So we hang out in front of Viper Manor. I am very familiar with this place because I have been going around seemingly in circles throughout it. There are definitely a lot of secrets hidden in here. So we're going to follow Kid inside as the darkness engulfs me once more. And then we... Wait, don't we have to deal with the light? There we go. Every time they go passages to the left and right, I go, wait, I don't have to pick yet, do I? No, I don't. Because there is a light, and my first decision is actually, well, second decision technically, but the decision that I need to make here is whether or not I want to go after her or if I want to go check the light. Remember, if you go check that light, you're locked into that scenario, so definitely don't go for the light. So we are going to head into the manor properly. So we could take the stairs down, we can head into the ballroom straight ahead, or we can go down the right path, which will take us to the study, which is actually where we want to go. Yeah, I do have this place down, at least the first couple decisions. All right, let's head in, because the study is actually where we want to go. Yes, this is definitely the study. This huge room is faintly lit by the moonlight shining through a tall window. In the back of the room stands a large, ornately decorated desk. Row after row of bookshelves house thousands of thick, dusty books. A painting is hung on the rear wall, sharing space with various exotic curios. Remember, if you examine the desk, just the normal stuff happens. We already checked out the painting. That was the really weird scenario. That just leaves the bookshelves, doesn't it? I walk over to one of the bookshelves and start looking through the rows of books. Most of them are written in languages I've never even seen before. I pull one of the books off the shelf. It's so heavy I have to support it with both of my hands. I clumsily turn up a random page. The book contains page after page of strange scribbled symbols. They twist and dance, almost as though they're alive. Wait, what? I blink my eyes, bringing my face closer to the book. It had to have been my imagination. They're not actually moving. Wait, are they? I turn up another page. It features the same kind of strange contorted symbols. It's making my head hurt just by looking at them. What could this be? Huh? Says Kid, coming to my side. Ah, it's a magically coded book. You can't read it. Besides, all these magical books are probably cursed. Wouldn't do you any good to read them even if you could. Watch yourself around these books, mate. There might be something in one of them. What are you talking about? And then, just as I turn my head to ask Kid about it, the book starts to moan in a dreadful way. I immediately slam it shut, jamming it back in the bookshelf. Majel, who had been watching us the entire time and saying nothing, approaches the shelf and reaches out for a time-worn, leather-bound book. You know about this stuff? Kid asks, looking up at Majel like a duck in a thunderstorm. What? How does a duck look in a thunderstorm? Some. This is an ancient tome from a faraway land. It was once known as the Book of the Dead. I never expected to find it here in Lord Lynx's possession. You can find anything in Viper Manor. Majel gazes at the time-worn leather-bound book. Let's ask him to open it. This is why we're here. Prompted by curiosity, I ask Majel to open the book. He hesitates for a moment, but then nods silently and opens the thick leather cover. The large book opens with a long creak. Suddenly, a strange sort of breeze seems to leap out from it, howling all around us. Curtains, papers, and even the chandeliers sway as this odd, directionless gust of wind scurries around. After a few moments, it whisks out the door. I fearfully turn to Majel, wondering what we've done now. Hey, there's nothing written in it, Kid says. What gives? Shifting his attention back to the book, Majel turns up another page. They're all blank. Jeez, what a waste. Let's write something in it, Kid says, already scribbling something down. Dear Lord Lynx, go buy some real books while you're out. Jeez, and by the way, the jerk store called and they're all out of you. That's great, Kid. That's fantastic. Suddenly, we start to hear footsteps coming this way. Though they aren't that loud, they boom like thunder in the night. Kid and I jump up. Majel swiftly conceals himself in the nearby shadows. Behind the door. Kid and I quickly hide behind the door with our backs pressed against the wall. I hold my breath as the door creaks open. A quivering candlelight spreads in through the doorway. However, whoever opened the door doesn't seem to have any intention of entering the room. Thought I heard something. No reason for anybody to be in here, though, since the master is away. Still, with those what was I going with? Poor southerners on the move. It's better safe than sorry. The door closes softly, blanketing the room in darkness once again. The voice becomes more and more distant as the footsteps fade into silence. Still, we wait without moving a muscle. So, Pore is up to something, Majel mutters, emerging from the shadows. Pore is a large country governing the southern continent. I hear it's a pretty well-developed and fairly prosperous land. What would they be after in these outlands? Surely not the frozen flame. No matter how valuable it may be, in the end it's just a jewel, a piece of rock. How valuable could it really be? That depends on the scenario, apparently. So how valuable is it this time, is the real question. We leave the study, retracing our steps through the dark passageway. Finally, the passage comes to a three-way branch. There's a descending staircase in front of us and a dangerous passageway on the right and left. The one on the left will take us back towards the terrace. We want to head to the right, which will take us to the ballroom. This time it is called the ballroom, I think. Do they actually name it? Normally it's called the ballroom. So we're going to go with that. Except for that one time it was called the cathedral. But we're going with the ballroom today. Great, nothing here, Kid sighs as we enter the spacious hall. A countless number of candles spectacularly illuminate this huge ballroom. An unsettling mood hangs in the air as we walk through it, however. We're greeted with dozens of high-class portraits hung high on both sides of the hall. A huge blood-red rose has been left on the floor before us. Wonder who left this here. Behind us, the door suddenly slams shut. Did we exit? No, we didn't. It looked like we did. As we turn around, I suddenly notice dozens of translucent figures materializing out of thin air right before our eyes. Oblivious to us, the couples waltz around the hall in their decaying tuxedos and tattered dresses. Oh, it's the Haunted Mansion. I love that ride. What kind of trick is this? Kid flares up enraged. Majel touches Kid's shoulder. It's Imagineering. They're ghosts, he whispers. Ghosts? Hearing this, they suddenly turn towards us, staring at us with their pale, faint eyes. Ghosts? No! They shriek. Ghastly, tortured screams resound throughout the hall as the dozens of ghosts fly up into the air, vanishing through the ceiling. Then, After a few moments, a voice laughs out from high above. How are you finding the dance so far? Enjoyable, I hope. Looking up, we see a lady. Oh, my bad. We see a lady sitting on the huge chandelier, dressed differently than the other ghosts. I get the feeling she's not one of them at all. She swoops down, coming within mere inches of my face. Oh, it is a lady. Rob us? And just who do you think you are? Oh, rob us, and just who do you think you are? I am the goddess of death, a servant of the shadow realm. She answers, my name is Lilith, although in my current state I realize looks can be deceiving. Having been summoned here, I took on the form of this young lady, Riddell, for my latest hunt. Hunt? Wait, Lilith! That's my favorite non-biblical story, biblical story. Hunt! Yes, and I thank you for it. I had so yearned for the practice. I had not hunted in so long. Me? Kid asks, astonished. You are the one who signed the name Lynx in the soul contract, are you not? Lynx? You killed Lynx? Lilith simply stares at Kid. She's referring to the Book of the Dead when you signed Lynx's name in it back in the study. Majel whispers to Kid. She's a shadow huntress. So, he's dead? Kid says once again, almost in shock. I wouldn't necessarily call him dead. Well preserved is a better term, Lilith explains as she takes a shimmering scarlet jewel out of her pocket. The frozen flame! Ah, so you do know something after all, she says. Ironic that a soul like his, filled with such malice and contempt, could ever solidify into a stone of such beauty. Lilith's eyes narrow. A dark haze begins to form in her right hand. The haze slowly takes on an elongated shape. After a few moments, it solidifies into a crescent moon-shaped scythe. The scythe flashes downward with a streak of darkness.